Hunting has been a part of the American experience since its beginning, and to the millions of people who still practice the rich tradition. It provides a powerful connection to the outdoors, as well as family and friends who can share a passion for the sport. Some of Americans' history's larger-than-life figures have been hunters, like people like Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, Kit Carson, Theodore Roosevelt, as well as modern-day leaders like President Jimmy Carter and rock singer Ted Nugent. All have been hunters, while lending their talents in service to the United States. Hunting provides a view to the outdoors like no other activity, requiring enthusiasts to become intimately knowledgeable of how the land and game they hunt, as well as the two interact with each other. For that reason, it's no surprise that hunters are our country's most ardent conservationists, supplying billions in funding as well as on-the-ground effort to protect and improve critical habitat and wildlife for the current and future generation to enjoy. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service 2011, National Surveyor Fishing and Hunting and Wildlife Associated Recreation reports 13.7 million people at the age of 16 or older, approximately 6% of the United States population, went hunting that year, excuse me, and spent $38.3 billion on equipment, license, trips, and more. At any airport during hunting season, near famous hunting destinations like Pike County, Illinois, and the Black Hills of South Dakota or Central Texas, odds are you'll find people strolling around, baggage claim and camouflage and hunter orange, picking up gun cases and heavy bags. These smaller communities count on these hunters' dollars to help their businesses stay afloat. Shops and convenience stores, hotels, landowners all benefit from our nation's 13.7 million hunters, who spent $38.3 billion in 2011, and in addition to the 680,000 jobs supported by the hunters, that's greater than total employment in 12 states. Hunting generated $11.8 billion in tax revenues. The Federal Aid and Wildlife Restoration Act was passed in 1937 and placed a special excise tax on firearms and ammunition to be shared among state wildlife agencies for the purpose of supporting conservation efforts. Since it began, hunters have contributed over $7.2 billion to the state's conservation efforts. Given current levels of firearms and ammunition sales, hunters now contribute over $871 million annually. In pursuing their passion, hunters also create one giant economic engine, providing the financial support to create thousands of jobs directly involved in the manufacture, sales, and provisions of hunting and outdoor products and services. And when people travel to take part in hunting, whether it's halfway across the country or just down the road, they support hundreds of thousands of jobs at local stores and restaurants and manufacturers and other businesses as well. The National Shooting Sports Foundation is the trade association for the firearm industry. Its mission is to promote and protect and preserve hunting and the shooting sports. It was formed in 1961 and has members of more than 7,000 manufacturers, distributors, firearms, retailers, shooting ranges, sportsman organization, and publishers. The Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies represent all of North America's fish and wildlife agencies, and on their collective behalf promotes sound wildlife management and conservation and speaks with a united voice on the important fish and wildlife issues. Its coordination services focus on supporting migratory birds, fish habitat, invasive species, intelligent and management's conservation education, leadership, development and guidance, and on international relationships, as well as represents its state agency members in Washington, D.C. on key conservation and management policies. According to the National Survey of Fishing, Hunting, and Wildlife Associated Recreation, The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services only includes hunters aged 16 or older who actually purchased a hunting license that year that the survey was taken. The data reveals that there were at least 1.8 million youths between the ages of 6 and 15 who hunted annually. It is believed the number of young hunters has grown in conjunction with overall growth in hunter numbers, or at least remain constant. Here are the hunting facts. Americans spent more than 282 million days hunting in 2011. Sportsmen contribute nearly 8 million a day that goes to support wildlife agencies and conservation. As of 2012, hunters and target shooters have paid more than $7.2 billion in excise tax through the Federal Aid and Wildlife Restoration Act since its passage in 1937. Hunting supports more than 680,000 jobs each year in the United States. The first state hunting license ever issued were in Michigan and North Dakota in 1896. U.S. hunters outnumber the population of 46 states. Only Florida, New York, Texas, and California have more residents than the combined population of U.S. hunters. Hunters spent a total of $38.3 billion last year that had a total economic multiplier effect of $86.9 billion across the United States economy. Hunting overall brought in more revenue, $38.3 billion, than Google, which was $37.9 billion. If hunting were a company, the amount spent by sportsmen to support their hunting activities, he would place 73 on the Fortune 500 list. Here are a list of top 10 states ranked by resident hunters. Texas is number one. It has 1,079,869 hunters. Wisconsin has 763,384. New York has 739,260. Pennsylvania has 698,998. Ohio has 515,723. Michigan, has 501,421. Then you got Alabama's got 491,593. Missouri has 476,833. Illinois has 458,984. And Minnesota has 456,695. As you can see, not only does hunting help the economy, the benefits of hunting in America is something all family and friends can enjoy and pass on to our younger generation. Like Ted Nugent once said, take your kids hunting so you won't have to hunt your kids.